Okay, I'm going to do another video. This one's going to be about surface area. So we're going to go back to our box that we turned inside out and figure out how to find the actual surface area. So we got to find this area of each part. So as I come back to this document, we're going to scroll through. Should have had it ready. And as I get up to the beginning here, this is where we left off before. So we'll go to View Present. And let's see. It should take just a moment to come up. Okay, so the idea is we left off with this box that we turned inside out, the Swiss K Cool box, and we're going to move forward. And the first thing we're going to do is find now the surface area. So this is the net, and what I did is I outlined it with the top, bottom in green, the front, back in purple, and the two sides in orange. And from here we start doing measurements. So first I started with the front. We measure the front. It's 8.5 inches across, and the height is 4 inches, as you can see. So use a tape measure or a ruler. I would say measure to the nearest quarter inch would make sense because it's nice to work with quarters, it's nice to work with halves, it's nice to work with whole numbers. So this one is 8.5 by 4 inches. So I wrote that in. Then I moved on to the side. The side is 2.25 in one direction, so a little more than two, so 2.25, and the height is 4. Notice the height is the same as the height on the front, and that's because it's a rectangular prism, and the dimensions, on sides that are associated should be the same. So we now have 2.25 inches by 4 inches written in. I go to the top, and I measure across, and this is a new dimension, or this is the same dimension we had before, 8.5 inches across the top. And then in terms of the height, it's 2.25, which also lines up with the length of the side, right? Because those two sides will match up. So we then write those in, 8.5 inches by 2.25 inches. Now to find the area, we start to go back and we look at the whole thing, and the whole thing has 6 sides. We've only measured 3. The reason is the repeats, the top and the bottom are the same, the sides are the same, and the front and back are the same. So we only need to measure 3 of the sides, the 3 different ones. Now, measurements. The first one, the top, the hardest one, I started this by basically setting it up. An area calculation is multiplying the base times the height, or you could say length times width. But the area is 8.5 by 2.25, or 8.5 times 2.25. I changed it to decimals, made it 8.5 times 2.25, and then I did an estimate. 9 times 2, 8.5 rounds up, 2.25 rounds down. 9 times 2 is 18, so it should be close to 18 inches square. I go to solve it. I solve it using the standard algorithm. So I do not line up the decimals, but I do remember to count the decimal places. I do the 2 layers. I came up with 19125. And then the question is, where do we put the decimal? Well, I look back at my estimate, which is 18, and I'm like, oh, 19 is pretty close to 18, so let's put the decimal there. The other thing I can do is count the 3 decimal places. From the right, there are 3 decimal places. We move it over 3, we get 19.125 inches squared. That's the number of square inches that would cover the top. We go on to the next one. The calculations on the side are 2.25 times 4 for the area. So I estimate 2 times 4 equals 8. And it's going to be close to 8. This one's pretty easy. When I do the calculation, I got 900, which where does the decimal go? Well, the estimate was 8, so it must be between the 9 and the 0. It must be 9. And I get area equals 9.00 inches squared, or just 9 inches squared. Once again, moving the decimal over 2 places because you see 1 decimal in the 2.25, it's 2 places over from the right. The last one we do is the front, and the front is 8.5 times 4. This one's probably the easiest because it's only a half that we have to calculate. The estimate is 9 times 4. I actually, when I took the picture, cut that out, but it should say 36 right there. The estimate is 36. And when I solve it, 8.5 times 4 is 340 or 340, but I have to place the decimal. So where does it go? Well, 36 is my estimate, so 34 makes sense. We put it there. Or we just count 1 decimal place and we move it 1. And we get area equals 34.0 inches squared. Now, from there, we take all of these things and we add them up. But we don't need to measure the other side. We know that the front and the back are the same. We know that the top and the bottom are the same. The sides are the same. So we're essentially adding up 6 unique sides or 6 sides. And when we add them up, we line up the decimal places. So when you add up decimals, you line up decimal places. And then I just did the addition and kept everything lined up as well as I could. And I came out to 124.250 inches squared. So the total surface area for this entire Swiss cake roll box was 124 1/4 inches squared, which is a lot. It seems like a lot for what is a pretty small box, but that's how we calculate surface area. So it's a lot of steps. It's measurement, it's area calculations, it's adding them up to get surface area. But you're always going to finish a surface area problem by adding up all the sides, right? So now we're coming back. This is the end. I want you guys to, take a look at this video, watch it again if you need to maybe clarify anything. But I would like you to finish this assignment, your own box, the one that you made inside out. I would like you to do this work on that box and show me evidence of it. You can make a video. You could make, you could take photos and send me photos. You could send me, images of your calculations. But I want to see that you were able to successfully find the surface area of the box that you're working with. Okay, so that's your assignment. Good luck, have fun, and if you want to try out a new platform to do this on, like I did here, you're welcome to do that too. All right, guys, have a good day.